Hey, before we get started, I always wonder, camera-wise, what looks the best on the tape? Is it me looking at the screen or is it me looking at the camera? So, like the way I'm looking now, which one's better? Is this one better?
We all look at our screen though.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I always wonder about that. Like, I'm looking at my screen, not the camera.
Yeah, because I can't look at the camera. That shit's odd.
I'm just gonna sit here and talk to the camera.
My camera is right on top of my monitor, so I'm looking in that general direction.
Mine is too, but I cut. You know what? Let me just make my screen big. So basically, I'm looking directly at myself right now. Okay, that worked. Let's roll with that.
Welcome back to the No Culture for Old Men podcast. As always, Lawrence, James, Ben here to go over the hot tops in the NBA, the NFL, sports world in general. Everybody's been working hard today, trying to get into this second job of mine. Guys, how we doing?
Good, man. Something. Smell of the week.
See you rocking the Eagles hat, dog.
Yeah, man. You know, they need all the help they can get.
Jesus.
They need all the help they can get, bro. They need support from non-Eagles fans alike. They rough.
You jump on the bandwagon for the bad team? Is that what you're doing?
Nah, this is just, you know, man, I love Philly, the city, man. So, you know.
What's the record?
Rapping the city, that's all.
1-3.
1-3.
Oh, man, that ain't bad. They fine.
Cowboys, man, they running the division right now. It's crazy.
They not 0-4.
Hey, that's true. Who's 0-4?
Whoever it was at Jacksonville?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we'll get into that. Hey, y'all, welcome to the No Culture for Old Men podcast. This is James. This is episode 21. Don't forget to follow us on IG and YouTube. We appreciate you following us. Let's kick it off with the pop culture for the week. You know, I'm a big Power, BMF fan, whatever, Stars fan. So Power Book, Kanan, that's over. We talked about that last week. BMF continues. Episode 2 was last week. Episode 3 coming up. Are you guys still keeping up with the series? What do you think so far?
Oh yeah, I'm definitely locked in. It's good. The show's good.
Yeah, I think it's kicking still. You know, episode 1 was like the setup. Episode 2, they got a little more in the storyline. So we'll see. I think it's going along pretty good. Just the fault, I heard some good reviews coming out already for what are they calling it? The one with Tommy that's going to be coming out.
Force,
yeah, Power Book Force, whatever they're going to call it. I've already heard good reviews for that, so looking forward to that as well.
Is Tommy the white guy?
Yeah, Tommy, man, Tommy Egan.
He's supposed to be out in LA.
Based out of LA. TV husband.
That's going to be the best show, of course.
It's too bad they killed off Lala.
She had to go. She was telling.
But that would have been cool if she'd have been on the new show. That's too bad. Maybe they'll do some flashbacks or something. I don't know.
Man, I don't know.
Hey, Jim, you remember OK Player?
Okay, what is that?
It's like a website.
Oh, yeah. Oh, it was a music website, right? Yeah. That's been gone for like AOL, right?
Nah, it's still a thing. I didn't know.
It's still around.
Yeah,
I didn't know that still existed. I thought that went away with like Yahoo Mail and AOL.
Dude, OK Player used to be the site I went to for all hip hop knowledge and understanding.
I remember that joint.
You could find tickets on there. You could hear about concerts and new records and stuff. That used to be my joint. I used to love it now. And it's still a thing. Wow, look at that.
Okay. Shout out to OK Player. Hey, one other thing before we jump into any kind of sports. Have y'all heard about Squid Game?
I'm scared to watch it, bro.
I have not watched a single minute of it.
I watched the first episode last night, and you know what? I'm digging it. I'm cool with it. I'm gonna finish that joint.
Is it like a Survivor show?
I don't want to give it away, but yeah, basically.
What's the premise of the show, though? It's like what?
Play a game, win or lose.
Okay.
basically win or die.
And
So
it's a
pretty
TV
hot,
show.
actually.
Is a TV show or a game show?
It's a series. It's a TV show. It's a TV show.
No.
So it's a series. It's Korea. It's based in Korea. And so luckily it does have voiceover. So they actually did a pretty good job with the voiceover. Because they're just like the actors, I believe they are speaking in Korean, but they voiced it over pretty good. So yeah, it's kind of cool. It's just about people who are in a financial bind and they've been offered a chance to win some money to get out of this bind, but they have to play a game in order to do it. And it's a series of games. So, survivor wins basically. That's pretty hot.
I've never watched an episode of Survivor, so I don't think I'll be watching.
Oh, I've never watched Survivor either. Actually, I was just thinking that the other day. Survivor's been on, I think, 20 years. Never watched an episode of it. Not one.
Never had a desire to even watch it.
Me neither. I considered watching it this year because it's like your anniversary season, but I was like, I've went this long without watching it. I think I'm good. So I'm just going to keep avoiding it. All right. Hey, jumping into some sports related stuff. Tyson Fury is coming up this weekend on Saturday night. Who do you guys got in this fight?
Who's he fighting?
Wilder. It's the third fight.
Fury Wilder, man. Trace.
If
Third
you're smart, pick Wilder. Pick Fury. Do not pick Wilder.
I wouldn't bet money on Wilder. I wouldn't bet money on Wilder, but I'm hoping Wilder wins, but the smart money's probably on Fury.
Wilder can't beat him. It's not gonna happen.
This is 3. Who won the first fight?
Yeah, Tyrone, what's the history of this fight?
Okay, so the first fight was controversial.
Yep.
Because Fury basically won the fight. Wilder had 2 knockdowns or 3 knockdowns the whole fight, which made it a draw.
Mm-hmm.
Second fight, there was more controversy. Wilder said that Fury had taken the padding out of his glove, which made the punches harder. Wilder had a bust eardrum or something, and he got beat up that second fight.
Yeah, he got beat up the second fight.
So now we have a third fight where Wilder is basically like, hey, it's no excuses. I'm coming to win. But I don't think it's going to happen.
Yeah, so this is the trilogy, basically. This is the third fight. Hopefully their final fight. I don't think anybody else wants to see a fourth. So...
Well, if Wilder wins, there will be a fourth fight.
Is there a belt on the line in this?
Yes. I'm not sure, but I know Fury has 2 belts.
2 belts. Okay. So there should be a belt at stake in this. Okay. All right. The last time I called a Wilder fight, it didn't turn out too well. I think that was the Ruiz fight. When Ruiz beat him.
You talking about Anthony Joshua?
Anthony Joshua, yeah, that's what I'm thinking about.
I remember when boxing was like you didn't get a trilogy. If you got your butt handed to you in the second fight, you didn't get a trilogy.
You didn't get the third fight.
Well, it's because the first fight was a draw.
I get it, but
further in the second,
he did get beat up that second fight. He got beat up like really.
Yeah, crazy. but if he really took padding out the glove. There was a reason why he got beat up the second fight.
All right. Well, there better be a glove check.
Oh, Fury did that. Take the padding out of the glove.
Yeah, he was accused of that. Yeah,
allegedly,
yes. He was accused of that. So let's see what happens. All right, let's push it on, y'all. Let's push it on. There's a lot of news in the sports world, and we figured today, hey, let's just talk about what's happening. There's a lot of news. Games are games. They continue. The NFL's pushing along in the week 5. NBA season's coming up. But there's a lot of just miscellaneous stuff happening. So let's just cover that today, y'all. Let's start with the NFL. Jayden Smith was released from the Dallas Cowboys. The linebacker, very talented player. Do we know why he was released?
Reports are saying he got into a screaming match with a coach now about playing time. because he was splitting snaps with
With Parsons?
no, with Neil, guy from Atlanta that they picked up in free agency.
Okay.
But the whole releasing just doesn't make sense to me. I
There
don't
must
get
be
it.
something else to that story.
They're not saying much, but I don't get it. I know he was bad in coverage. He couldn't cover a tight end to save his life.
Mm-hmm.
But still, you have to pay him the $7.2 million. Why release him? You already paying him at this point.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't get the point of releasing him. I
So
mean,
basically, he can get paid and still sign with another team.
yeah, I mean, he's getting paid regardless from the
Okay.
Cowboys.
You know, the NFL is a weird thing for personnel, man. It can be one little thing, and you'll get cut, and they'll just push on from you. I mean, that leads into Stefan Gilmore finally being released, traded technically by the Patriots, and he landed with the Carolina Panthers for a 6th-round pick.
I don't get it. I don't get it. But whatever.
Well,
I mean,
it's real simple. They didn't want to pay him.
but you got to pay him anyway. You have to pay him this year's salary.
Yeah.
For the NFL, they traded him, so they don't have to pay him. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
No,
they
they don't.
traded
Yeah.
him. They traded him. So
Yeah,
whatever.
they traded him to Carolina for a 6th-round pick. This was the number one lockdown corner 2 years ago, and they get him for a 6th-round pick. I think Carolina made out pretty good on this.
Did they?
Heck yeah! All they had to give was a 6th-round pick for a lockdown corner.
Yeah, I don't know.
Mm.
I'm
It's
more
put like
curious.
it's a reason Bill Belichick cut you or getting rid of you.
Yeah, but I'm more curious about this Jade Smith thing. I'd never heard of a player being cut because he's arguing about playing time. That just doesn't sound right to me. It sounds like there's something else behind that. I mean, I don't know anything about anything, but unless he was in there physically attacking coaches, I don't get that. To me, that's fishy.
Yeah, I don't know either. I'm sure more will come out about it. And also, you know what will be a telltale sign is how
Hey, and
quickly he
real
gets
quick,
signed by another team.
it's all signs are pointing to him going to the Packers.
Oh, there you see, he signed already.
I mean,
Close to it.
they're finalizing the deal. They're working on the last details, but looks like he's going to the Packers.
Wow. Okay. Well, there's your answer then. It must not have been too bad then. If he signed that quick.
I mean, but then with a turnaround time like that, they don't have time to know, the particulars. They haven't investigated this person's personal life or things to see what's going on. Like I said, there's got to be something other than, hey, dude, you're gonna split time and that's fine. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I don't know. That sounds weird to me. But
I mean, this guy averaged 100 tackles over the last 2 years, and you cut him like it's nothing.
how many tackles?
48.
Pretty good.
Okay.
Yeah, he's one of their leading tacklers, definitely, for the last 2 seasons. So he's a beast. Well, hey, he's gonna land in Green Bay. Let's see how it rolls for him. In other NFL news, the Urban Meyer story, man. So apparently, after the Jacksonville loss in Cleveland, in Ohio, in the state of Ohio, he decides to hang out and go to his own bar. It says, hey, he has a restaurant. He went to it and hung out. And unfortunately, he got a little caught up. There's a video, literally a 7-second video, that has put his world in a little bit of a tailspin. What do you guys think of the Urban Meyer story, man?
I'm confused on it.
All they do is this. All they do is this.
Is that what the song
All
was?
they do is, I don't know.
I'm confused on the story. What is what? He's in trouble because what?
So
I've seen
in
a
the
video of him having fun with a woman. What's the issue here?
Yeah, in the video, all you can see quickly is a young lady uh
Dancing on him.
lightly grinding against him. She is not his wife, which is I think is the main thing in this
Yes.
situation.
But
Correct.
that's none of our business. It's none of your
Hey,
business.
he's a head coach in the NFL.
No, I don't care if you're a head coach or manager in a damn call center. What you do in your personal time, none of my damn business.
I get it.
Okay, but to me, this is hypocrisy, right? Urban Meyer supposedly is this authoritarian kind of coach, right? He wants everybody to do things by the book, got accountability, let's blah blah blah, let's take the fluff out of it, let's get it, let's take the he wants accountability for his players, he wants them to be a certain way. And now in his personal life, you can see that he clearly doesn't hold himself to the same standard. And to me, that kind of stuff bleeds over. You know what I'm saying? You can pretend that you are a certain way, but when you really aren't that way, that bleeds through your work, which is part of the reason why he's on 4. I don't know how bad Jacksonville
Has
is.
he has he really tried to coach people's personal life? I've never heard that about Urban Meyer. You're not even in college.
No, I'm not talking about their personal
at
life.
this level.
No.
At this level, you're expected to hold a certain standard, right? Like you wouldn't expect to see a video of your quarterback out there like that. So you sure not want to see it of your head coach. Also, there were some individual pictures too of just him posing with the crowd and et cetera, et cetera. So it just wasn't a good look for him.
It's none of my business.
Yeah, I mean, I feel you on that. But go ahead, man.
I didn't listen to the press conference very much. I saw a small clip of it.
Mm-hmm.
This fool looks ashamed.
Yeah, he does.
He looked like he got caught doing something. Like if he was just there hanging out and just, whatever, you know what I'm saying? He'd have been like, you know what? Hey, you know what? We was all in the mix for a minute. That lasted for about 5 seconds. Ain't no big deal. You know what I'm saying? But no, he looked like a man who was caught. All men know when they caught.
Fine. If you're caught by your wife, fine. That's your home. That's your personal life. That's none of my business. Why am I apologizing to my boss for having a life outside of work?
Hey, it's not portraying the right values. That's all it comes down to in this case.
Oh, please. Everybody in there getting high and doing all this other stuff. We talking about values. Come on, man.
They're saying the view from the reports coming out is the view from the players and the view from the owner of the team is not good so far. They're not very happy with this man right now. And you're 0-4 too. He's on a short leash now. For real.
Yeah, you don't expect your coach to be the distraction. That's the thing.
I think that's a good way to put it, man.
A grown man is a distraction because he had fun with a woman.
That's not his wife.
That's not our business. It's not my business.
Once it
I don't care what you do.
It's everyone's business.
That's right.
Hey, it's no different than Paul Pierce on his Instagram live getting fired for that. It's no different.
None of our business.
Look, Paul Pierce wasn't even married.
Again, none of our business.
None of our business. The man's not even married, but he lost his job over it.
That man was on his day off, relaxing.
Oh. Exactly. It's no different. It's no different.
Look, my thing is he showed up for the game. He coached the game. The game was over. He need to unwind. He just got his ass whooped for the 4th time. He's not used to losing.
Hey, but also though, why did he go back home with his team? What coach does that? What coach doesn't travel back home with their team?
Well, he stayed because his family was there.
Yeah, matter. He's an NFL coach. You should go with your team. Did Pat Riley ever not travel back home with the Lakers? We don't know.
We don't know. We don't know because it wasn't social media. We don't know.
Yeah, but I'm just saying. I'm sure John Gruden's not hanging back and not traveling home with his team. I'm just saying. It's just not a good look. All right, enough of that. Let's beat it to death. Hey, last NFL news I got to talk about is Justin Fields. He apparently has been named the starter for the Chicago Bears for the remainder of the season.
Wow, the whole remaining.
I hope he's got good medical insurance.
I hope his offensive line is dedicated to keeping him alive because he's going to be in a world of hurt if not. And two, I hope they just tailor this playbook for his skill set to get him through this first season so he can learn the game. That's all I hope for. I don't want to see the man get hurt, and I want to see him produce. I want to see him do well. Hopefully, they can tailor a game plan for him.
I think this is a panic move. I don't get it. It's a panic move.
I think it's a pressure move. This guy's job is on the line.
The head coach?
Yeah, Matt Nagy, coach.
This is second season?
Why is his job on the line?
Because he started out in his first season 12-4, and they haven't been above 500 since then. And he's ruined two quarterbacks already.
He's ruined 3 quarterbacks, or the GM putting that whack offensive line ruined 3 quarterbacks.
He was supposed to be the quarterback guru. He was supposed to be the offensive genius. And their offense has been horrible for every year he's been there.
Yeah, but what's their the offense has been horrible?
Yeah. With this good defense and this horrible offense. He's an offensive coach. I mean, and they haven't produced offensively in 3 seasons.
Well, the GM should be fired because he drafted Mitchell Trubisky over Patrick Mahomes.
Trubisky was 12-4 in his first season.
I don't care. I don't care. Nobody in their right mind would pick Mitchell Trubisky over anybody.
I agree. I wouldn't have drafted the man either, but they took him, and you got to work with what you got. They were 12-4 the first season. Then after that, it was just downhill.
I'm saying I don't care what kind of guru you are or what kind of offensive coordinator you are. You're only as good as your offensive line.
Agreed.
So if a GM is giving him sub-quality players on that line, it doesn't matter what's going to happen. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know how much his job. I mean, I don't know about Chicago that much. I don't know about his job, but I think anybody that knows football would know that.
He's on the high.
Listen to this. Mitchell Trubisky was the 2nd overall pick over these players: Christian McCaffrey, Patrick Mahomes, Deshaun Watson.
Yeah.
Whoever. So, come on, man. Come on. Talent, man. Come on, man.
That's why Chicago was trying to get Watson this offseason, because they said, man, we should have really drafted him originally.
Speaking of people named Deshaun. Isn't there what's that wide receiver who used to play for Philly that ended up playing for Washington for a couple seasons?
Deshaun Jackson. He plays for the Rams now.
That fool's still fast.
He's still fast, yes. I see he lost some weight though. He lost some of that bulk and tried to get fast again. He's still fast.
That fool's still fast.
He got his speed back. He's like, I'm gonna bring it back. He's playing for the Rams, right?
Yeah, Stafford keeps underthrowing him.
Yeah, he's outrunning them. Is he underthrowing them, or is he outrunning them?
Deshaun's just too fast. He can't get the ball down there.
How many seasons
had route running? I never thought Deshaun was a great route runner.
He's not.
You're still supposed to get the ball out there. You can't underthrow the man 5 yards.
I mean, he has one job, and that job is to be fast. So I get it. I mean, he got to get him the ball.
He made a good living being fast.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the Rams took a little bit of a beating against the Cardinals last week, so I'm sure they'll bounce back from it. They were probably coming down from their big win the week before. So, you know, we'll see. I don't really see any major deal there with them. Speaking of that, moving on though. So yeah, good luck to the Chicago Bears and their newly minute starting quarterback. Hopefully he survives the season and wins some games. Hey, NBA news, man. Let's jump into it. NBA is getting closer and closer. One of the big stories out there is still some players who haven't reported. One due to his lack of wanting to report and actually play the game of basketball. Some of the others had been due to COVID delays in getting vaccinated. Let's kick it off with Kyrie Irving. Kyrie, to this date, has still not got his COVID vaccine, which means in the state of New York, he cannot play home games or practice in a team setting. What do y'all think they should do with Kyrie Irving?
What can you do?
Find him, cut him, trade him.
He doesn't care. You're dealing with somebody that doesn't care. Obviously, he doesn't even care about the money. So what is finding him really going to do?
What do you think, Ben?
If I was the head coach of that team, my first play would be, Kevin, can you talk to him?
I think they tried that already.
And if Kevin has said, look, dude, I can't do nothing with him, then I'm either going to make some kind of decision to put him on IR or waivers or something, because I'm not going to trade him, because this is a temporary situation, right? And I don't think Kyrie wants to play anywhere else, right? But I'm going to finesse it so that when he comes back, he feels welcomed. He knows that, look, this was a business decision and we had to do this just for the cohesiveness of the team, just so we don't have to hear this throughout the whole season. I'm not going to have this guy in and out of the lineup. I'm not going to do that.
That's a good point, Ben. Because the question I heard today was, "Oh, should they really consider making him a part-time player?" And I'm like, "No. What are we talking about here? He gets paid way too much for that."
Right.
So no to the part-time player.
No, I'm not. Nah.
This is a road that the NBA should not travel down.
How about just cut? How about just cutting? Just release him.
Guaranteed contract.
Just cut him. I don't get it. The team can't win here. There's no winners here. There's no winners. I don't. You got to just get rid of him. Trade him to Cleveland or something.
Yeah.
I
for one think Kyrie is. I don't think he's being a team player. One, two. I honestly don't. I mean, I don't know the man, but it just seems like he doesn't really care about playing ball anymore, and that's fine if that's what you want to. If you don't want to play ball no more, don't play ball no more. I think he needs to just be honest about that, because unfortunately, team athletics take some conformity. And if you choose not to conform to it, then you probably shouldn't be part of a team. Maybe you should be playing tennis. Maybe you should be playing golf. I don't know what you should be doing, but it's probably not basketball right now.
He's not going to get the vaccine, though.
I don't think he is either. I think he's stubborn enough that he would go a whole season and not get paid.
Yeah.
So
to me, he's like anybody else who has a job who says, look, I need you to be vaccinated, right? Everybody has a job, and a lot of people are saying, look, I need you to be vaccinated or you're going to get tested, right? Mm-hmm. And some people is like, look, I need, especially if you're in like a health industry or you're with the public, I need you to be vaccinated, period, or you can't come to work, right?
Yeah.
And that is what it is. If the owner of that team looks at this team and says, look, this guy's not going to be here for 50% of the games flat, not minding whatever injury he has or whatever other break he needs or whatever. I want my team to be my team. Like, if they want this to be a functioning unit, they have to, I don't know, like I said, trade them, put them on IR, cut them, whatever they can do. Mm-hmm. If they can salvage the relationship, great. If not, they need to just move on.
Yeah.
If this was another player, they wouldn't deal with this.
No, they wouldn't.
They would cut him.
They'd cut him. You'd be done with him. Well, if you're, a less talented player, of course they're going to cut you. I think one of the bigger things here is, and this goes for I think the NBA itself. I think they kind of made a mistake when they did not mandate the vaccine for all players. I think they left themselves open to this.
Well, that's the
I don't know if it's because of the, I'm sure they had to negotiate it inside the player agreement. And
I'm about to say,
of course, this probably didn't make it into the agreement because, they do that in the off seasons or whatever, and they really haven't had true off seasons in 2 years. So, you know what, that maybe they were hamstringed by that. but a mandate probably would have made it easier for everybody.
They tried to get a mandate. The players would not budge. The Players Association would not budge. You got to remember, Kyrie Irving is the vice president of the Players Association.
I forgot about that.
Oh,
who's the president now? It's
Chris Paul is still the president.
Okay, Kyrie.
I thought it was somebody else though.
There's a guy replacing Chris. Chris is stepping down.
I know Chris was stepping now, but no, they haven't got a replacement for him yet.
Yeah, I think also one of the young guys on the Boston Celtics is actually going to be in a leadership role this year too. So they're making that transition. But okay, if the players rejected it, I get it. But in the case of the Nets, if I was the Nets, I think I'd do what Ben said. You know what? You give him his little short leash and you say, hey, you're here, we're here, we're going to keep it pushing. We're not going to make accommodations, but hey, when you want to come back, come back. Because we know the Nets can win without Kyrie. It cuts their margin for error, but they can still win a lot of games and still compete and win the East without him. So, we'll see how it goes. Andrew Wiggins, on the other hand, hey, he got his shot last week. He's back on the court. I'm sure that $240,000 docking fee coming up was a big push for him.
Oh, and he got his shot? I didn't know he got his shot.
Oh, he got
his first one.
Yeah, because he was about to lose $240,000 for a preseason game, and he went ahead and got a shot.
So old dude got back there, huh?
Yeah, he went there and got that Johnson & Johnson one shot, one hit a quitter.
The one hitter. That's what you need, son. You be fine.
He's just like, I hope for me and my family that 10 years from now, this was a good decision.
Shut your punk ass.
Like, he's really concerned about his health. I'm like, are you kidding me, bro? Of all the things that could kill you, you worried about this shot? These players, man. Bradley Bill's the same way, though.
Yeah, he just sounds dumb to me.
He sounds real ignorant now.
He sounds real dumb. I was like, dude, you couldn't sound more ignorant.
I knew it was something about him I didn't like, and he just put it out there. He's not very bright.
He always just seemed like kind of mellow, kind of like in this kind of zone thing.
Nah, it's something off with him.
But that press conference he gave where he was like, you can still catch it. You can do this. I was like, oh my God.
we all get that. We all know this. It's a given. No one's arguing the science behind it. And it's no one's right to tell you, hey, you got to do this. I get that, and that's all fair and good. But Bill, man, he's just lucky that he is in Washington where there's not a mandate. So
I wonder if Ben Simmons is vaccinated.
That's a good question.
I was about to say something really disrespectful, but I'm gonna leave it.
Speaking of Ben Simmons, since Ben brought him up, hey, he still is not reported to the Sixers. He lost $360,000. $360. Which I find really disgusting, considering a lot of people won't make that in their lifetime or in a 10-year period. You lost $360K for missing one preseason game, and you're gonna continue this holdout. What in the world are the Sixers gonna do? I just think it's at a point. I don't think there's any repairing in this relationship. What you got, Tyrone?
This is per Zach Kendall. The Pacers are willing to trade Malcolm Brogdon and Karis LeVert in exchange for Ben Simmons.
Yeah, I've heard the Pacers like 2 proposals today already from them, so they're really trying to get to it.
If you can get Brogdon and LeVert, just pull the trigger. Just get it over with.
Yeah, I would pull that. I would take that in a heartbeat.
Just pull it.
I was telling Tyrone the other day, I was like, you give me some bonus, you can have Ben Simmons.
Yeah, that would give us a bonus.
I'll take that too.
But I would take that too, straight up. Yeah.
To me, that deal makes more sense for both teams. One, they pretty much slide into each other's slot. And for Philly, it makes them a bigger team, and it lets everyone else on the team slide down a position, back to their natural positions. You can move Harris down to the small forward. You can pay Fabo at the 2 guard, and then you have Maxey at the point. It puts everybody in their natural position. To me, it actually makes more sense.
At this point, I would take a bag of chips. I don't give a damn what you trade for him.
Exactly.
I just want him out of Philadelphia.
Yeah, he's just ruining the team right now, man. He's ruining the vibe.
I'm concerned about the person that is Ben Simmons, not so much as a basketball player. I don't care. I don't care. But I think he's as a basketball player. I think he's making a lot of selfish and silly decisions right now. But as a person, I'm concerned about him. I'm concerned about his approach to life at this point. Because
Nah, I get it. It's bad.
you,
It's your decision making ability.
if
That's all.
I feel like, and I don't know this dude, I've never seen him. I don't even pay attention to him that much, but from reading a little bit, it seems like he's been spoiled. You know, like he is, and of course, all athletes are spoiled or not spoiled, but they're treated differently, right? I just feel like he's been held on a pedestal for so long that he doesn't know how to handle criticism, and nobody around him is able to make him see it. So I don't know. I hope he's talking to somebody. I hope there's a counselor. I hope there's somebody that's helping him work through these things.
Well, I hope it's someone in his camp who's telling him the truth and not just being a yes man.
No, Ben Simmons just needs to be a grown man and shoot damn basketball. Like, I don't give a damn about what you're going through or who's talking to you. You're worth $100 and something million, and we're having a conversation because you don't want to shoot a basketball.
Something you've put videos out showing that you can do.
Right. You know, I'm sick of him. I'm sick of him. I want him gone. If he never sees the city of Philadelphia again, it will not hurt my feelings.
What's going to be crazy is when he finally is with another team and he has to come back and play in Philly.
And
That's
I will
the game
go to that game.
I want to be at.
I will go to that game, and I will be booing. I will have a big sign and say, "My little sister or whatever can shoot better than you," or something. I don't know.
That would be a crazy game.
You know what? I guarantee you, he probably won't even come. He'll be injured that game.
I mean, the deafening boo sounds every time he touches the basketball. I just can't imagine.
In Philly, I can't imagine that game. That would be the greatest game ever to see.
They will have extra security for that game. Extra security.
They'd have to. I mean, they'd have to have the riot squad out there for this.
And they're still going to throw something. Something's going to get thrown.
Yeah, somebody get hit with a lot of, you know.
I remember going to a base. I don't know if y'all follow baseball, but it was a player, Jayden Drew, Philadelphia Phillies drafted, and he was like, he wasn't coming to Philadelphia. And I was at the game. They threw double deep batteries at his head.
I heard about that.
Yeah, I remember that. He did not want to. He ended up playing for the Cardinals, I think.
Yeah, playing for the Cardinals.
Yep, he did not want to go to Philly, and the Philly fans remembered that. I think Simmons would actually not show up. I think he would feign injury and not make the road trip, to be honest with you, because he's going to get killed.
That's even worse. That's just a coward. That's even worse.
I don't think he'd show up. I don't think he really would. All right. What else we got in the NBA, man, that I've missed? What else we got?
NBA news. I mean, season starts October 21st. I mean, nothing much. We just need to get it kicked off.
Yeah. WNBA's wrapping up. Playoffs are still continuing. It's been some great games. If you haven't seen them, check them out. The women have been putting on clinics. The Rosie's been balling. Mercury has looked good. I mean, it's been some good competitive games. I wish they would pump them up a little bit more, but definitely check them out on ESPN or wherever else you can catch them at. So it's been some good ball.
I did notice Candace Parker hit the old Magic Johnson trying to get the ball up the court.
Yeah, you were telling me about it. Say what happened.
So they put pressure on her. They for some, in the WNBA they still press.
Yeah,
they was putting pressure on her, and she turned her elbows, put the ball between her legs, and turned her body. It was like, you're not getting this ball.
You did the back down, huh?
That joke was funny. I was like, old school basketball still works.
Wow. Old school basketball is always going to work. I don't care what anybody says. The back down still works.
It ain't pretty.
Drop steps still work. Jump hooks still work if you use them. And you know, someone made a good point about the NBA this season. They were like, they were just talking about team styles, and maybe it's a shift. I don't know if it is or not. You know, you were talking about how the Bucks won last year. You know, that Giannis finally figured out, you know, what's his groove, where he should be at in the game. And, you know, of course, it's physicality. It's basically, I'm bigger than you. I'm going to score on you down here in the paint. Um, and then I looked at the moves the Knicks have made this offseason. They're a pretty big team, and they're a pretty physical team. I wonder, in any kind of way, will we see an hedge back towards a more physical game? What do you guys think about that? I was looking at the Heat the other night, their preseason game. I noticed Bam put on about 15 pounds of muscle. I mean, I'm just looking around the league. I'm noticing some guys are bulking up a little bit. I'm wondering if the game may make a switch, especially with these rule changes where a lot of these silly offensive moves aren't going to be allowed anymore. You know, if you didn't see the Curry highlight where he almost fell on his face because he couldn't get his little offensive foul off, you know, the ref didn't give him the foul. I saw Trey Young struggling a little bit because he can't do that run up my back play no more. You know, I wonder if the game can make a switch or pivot to a more physical game.
Look at the last two NBA champions, the Lakers and the Bucks. They both went big.
Yep.
They both went big. So, like I say, that whole jump shooting basketball team winning championships is a myth. There's only one team that did it, and that was Golden State Warriors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With a Hall of Fame lineup.
Exactly. You're not going to get that with every team. Everybody's not Steph Curry. Everybody's not Klay Thompson.
And
everybody's Kevin Durant.
And when you're in a conference, what you're doing is, I mean, you're building your team to compete with the best team in your conference, right? You're not worried about, if you're in the East, you're not worried about the West. If you're in the West, you're not worried about the East. So if you're in the East and you're looking at the Milwaukee Bucks, you're like, we got to get big. You got to get bigger. And I don't know, Bam. I mean, Bam was super skinny when he started, and I was like, okay, he's going to put on some weight just naturally. As he gets older, he's going to get bigger, and if he's working out, of course he's going to get bigger. Just to protect himself, you know, he's got to get stronger. You know, there's a lot of wear and tear on your body, a lot of banging down low.
Center. I mean, he needs to get bigger. So yeah,
is he playing? Is he playing center?
He's still playing the 5 this year, yeah. Which is crazy to me. He's 6'9". I don't get why they forced this man to play center. They don't have a true center on their roster. He's their center. He's their de facto center. They have a rookie, a 7-foot rookie, but he looks more like of a pick and pop guy. I don't even know if he's a physical player. They really haven't found a good backup center. Udonis Haslam's making his return for his 19th season. So, you know, you still got Udonis back there on the bench. Hey, shout out to Udonis, man. He made a career at this joint. Undrafted. 19. He may be at 20 years.
A career.
He was in the same. He was in the same draft as Dwayne Wade.
Yep. Still hanging around. So I'm guessing this is his final season, but he's back for one more season.
But you know they pay him like they did Juwan Howard.
They got to pay him off. Yeah.
They make him a coach so he can get paid because they say he took a pay cut when the big 3 came.
Yeah. Yeah. So they still owe him money. We get it. Well, good for him. All right, y'all. What else y'all got? Anything else? The one name we didn't talk about. And we'll make it quick. Sage Steele. Just finishing up news. Sage went on the Jay Cutler podcast this past week and said some things that a lot of people didn't like and ended up getting suspended from ESPN. Also, unfortunately, apparently she caught COVID. So hope she feels better and gets over the COVID infection. But what do you guys think of the whole Sage Steele debacle? And also,
For one,
note she also put out an apology as well.
for one, why is she on Jay Cutler's podcast?
That was a bad move. That was
Because
That's the
number one.
yeah, that's Jay Cutler. What?
We know what Jay Cutler is, so that was number one. That's like going on Howard Stern. That's like the
man, you could go on Howard Stern. That's fine. That's a good time. Okay.
yeah. Howard Stern's gotten better over the years. It's not as crazy as it used to be. I'm just saying Jay Cutler's like the Howard Stern of sports. That's all I'm
Is he?
saying.
I've never heard his show.
Yeah,
There's no way I'm even speaking to Jay Cutler, let alone going on his podcast.
yeah, that's all I'm saying. Yeah.
My opinion of Sage Steele has lessened every time she decides to explain to us why she isn't black. And I don't know. It happens every 2 or 3 years.
Every couple of years, she throws it out.
she throws out the fact that she's not black. And Sage, we don't care. Okay, this is not something that happens often in our community. It happens occasionally, and it's fine. Look, you can identify however you want. You know what I'm saying? You can be in your mind whatever you think you are. Fine. Don't nobody care until you open your mouth and say stupid things. You have to realize she angers me. Now she's starting to become an irritant because when she was on the local Maryland thing, I was like, okay, cool. She was filling in for
I forgot about that. She was local at one point.
Yeah, dude, she was filling in for what's that old sports show?
The sports machine guy.
Yeah, she used to fill in for the sports machine guy, dude. I was like, yeah, Sage. I was like,
Yeah.
come on.
You're right. She filled in on Sports Machine. I forgot all about that.
But no, she wants to tell everybody in the whole world that she's not black. And we don't care, Sage. We don't care. You can be the person, you can be the American or the white person or whatever you think you are. You can be that. But if you don't identify with this community, then you need to stop speaking on it. Like, you know what I'm saying? You can't have it both ways. You know what I'm saying? If you're going to identify as something other, then you need to realize that those rules that we put on everybody else apply to you, which means keep your mouth shut and talk about whatever it is you're talking about. Talk about your job. Talk about your sports. And plus, she was shaming women. She was talking about women.
That's where she really
sexual harassment. Yeah, I'm reading a comment now. She was saying women need to be responsible. It isn't just on the players and the athletes. And
yeah, I think that's where she really kicked it. There is by one speaking on race and publicly, and
speaking on Obama.
Yeah, and then two though calling out other women. I mean, when you're bashing other women, that's when you're gonna get in trouble.
I mean, this is no culture.
She's saying that make the COVID vaccine a mandate is just sick and scary to her.
Yeah, I mean, she hit a lot of hot buttons in that one take. I'm just saying, she was very deliberate and very equal opportunity.
I need to listen to this whole thing then.
Yeah,
I need to go back.
I'm reading it on CNN.
Yeah, if you haven't caught it,
but okay, I'm gonna say this. I don't agree with anything she's saying. I think she's bumped her head. But if this is her true opinions,
yeah.
Well, I just know you're not for me.
Exactly.
This is my thing. I don't look at it as everybody else. I like to see my enemies coming. I want to know where you stand, what line you on. Obviously, you ain't for me. Now I know. I ain't gotta watch you.
But my point
that's how I take it.
But that's my point. We know, Sage. You don't have to keep explaining it to us. We don't care. And the people who you claim to identify with, they won't claim you either. That's the point you need to realize.
Yeah, I think, like you said, Ben, every couple of years she comes up with something like this. And I think, unfortunately, she's doing to it. It's becoming a detriment to herself and to her career. Every time this happens. I
So this
think she
this is
puts
not her first
ESPN
thing.
in a. Nah, this isn't the first time, man. I think 2018, 2017, this happened, something similar to it. You remember she used to host the NBA show at one point, right? And that went away.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's why, because she had a little flare up then. And they pushed her off because of that. And so now, you know what? She's putting ESPN in another spot. ESPN's a whole nother story, the worldwide leader. I mean, I don't know what they can really do with her at this point. They'll probably bring her back. They have their own scheduling talent problem right now anyway. So who knows what they'll decide with her. I don't think she should lose her job over it. I mean, I don't think that's the case. It's like Ty said, it's like to each his own. That's your opinion, then so be it. But we'll see what the audience says about it.
They got rid of my girl Rachel Nichols, but they won't get rid of her. Kind of like
Yeah,
this.
that's what I'm curious about. I'm curious to see how it plays out. Because you kick Rachel out the door. I mean, they've kicked a lot of women out the door. Michelle Beadle,
Jamil
really
Hill.
like Michelle Beadle, gone.
No.
Jamel Hill.
Jamel
What's her
Hill.
name? Jamel.
Gone. I sometimes think Jamel went too far, but I mean, hey, to each his own. Like she wasn't for everybody, and that's cool. I loved her on there.
I personally don't like Jamel Hill either, but
yeah, but I'm not mad at it. You need different opinions on stuff, and that's
of
just how
course.
it rolls. Like but like Michelle Beadle, and the list goes on and on of who's gone. Like, yeah, I just don't know what they're gonna do there. It's just crazy. And we'll see what happens to Sage. See if hopefully she gets through COVID, and we'll see if she'll be back on the worldwide leader in a couple of weeks. We'll see.
I don't know, man. I'm reading this thing on CNN. It doesn't sound good.
Nah, it comes off worse on paper because it's black and white. It comes out pretty
wait,
bad.
you're reading it on
And look, and I'm on CNN's website, and they're only taking the key quotes from her, and I'm like, ugh. I'm just cringing just reading this.
Yeah, it's a bit cringy.
Sometimes what you're thinking, you should just keep to yourself.
Yeah, I think that's the lesson here.
You just keep it to yourself. When you're you have a public job. It might be unfair, but no, you can't give your opinion like you want. Unfortunately, you can't. I know you see Charles Barkley do it, but you can't do it. Period.
Not everybody's so.
Yeah, not everybody's Charles Barkley. Everybody can't just get on TV and just say what the hell they want.
Not everybody can get away with it.
Yeah,
especially if you want a future. So, hey, with that, this has been the No Culture for Old Men podcast, episode 21. Thank you guys for joining us. We appreciate it. Don't forget to like or follow us on YouTube and IG. We'll see you next time. Peace.